today in Rich in Relationship. We're going to
take the money out of the fight. When we don't manage our money responsibly, it can trigger the fight. What I'm telling you is money is far more complicated than just what's coming in and what's going out emotionally. Welcome to another episode of Rich in Relationship, and welcome to this special episode on separating the money from the fight. That's from the fight. That's right. Because that fight, it happens anyway. And we're going to talk about that more as we go through this subject. Why now? As I record this, it is July. There are families going on vacation. There are families planning vacations. There are families spending money they don't have. There are families spending money they hope they're going to have. And there are families spending money that they do have that they shouldn't be spending. Why? Because America likes an experience. We like to give our kids a vacation. We want them to be able to go back to school and say, we did this, we did that. It was amazing. My family's so incredible. And let's be honest, we all like to have a good time also. On the other side of that, though, when we don't manage our money responsibly, it can trigger the fight. And I don't mean any fight. I mean the fight. Here at Rich in Relationship, when we talk about the fight, I want you to know what fight I'm talking about, all right? It's that fight where you got to win and they're going to lose. Why? Because you're freaking right and they're freaking wrong. Or maybe you're the recipients of that. They're coming at you, they're right and you're wrong, and you're like, whoa! And you have a decision to make. Am I going to run? Am I going to play dead? Or am I going to fight them? Whatever decision you make, you're pretty much screwed, because once one partner slips into, I'm going to win, you're going to lose, it's pretty hard to evade that particular dynamic unless you've got some programming around that. All right, so there's the money issue, there's the fight issue. Let's just talk about money as a trigger. I mentioned in the earlier episode that 76% of all marriages fight about money. That doesn't mean that 76% of all marriages have a fight about money. That means that 76% of all marriages have the fight, and they have it more than once about money. Because what do we know about the fight? We know that the fight does not get resolved. Yeah, the fight resolves with both people storming off, pissed off, angry, frustrating, feeling like they weren't heard, feeling like they weren't understood, feeling like they're right. And why the heck can't that person finally get it? And then the next time the money fight, I'm going to call it this time, comes up, it's the same result. The money fight never really gets resolved. Oh, you might make some temporary agreements about money, but they don't hold up. Because when you make an agreement under that kind of vibration, under that energy of I'm going to win, you're going to lose, when you compromise, when you're operating on that emotional level, there's nothing good that comes out of it. Yeah, maybe for a while there, you got some good post-fight sex just to have both of you have some release, but in the long run, even that starts to go away, right? The fight is over sex, that stops after a while, and you just go further and further apart. That is the fight, and the fight has a lot of triggers. I want to be really clear. The fight has triggers around chores. The fight has triggers around jealousy. The fight has triggers around behaviors that remind us of things that made us unhappy in other relationships. The fight has all kinds of triggers, right? We're talking about here, when we talk about the fight, is we're talking about when we've gone to 60, when the nukes are armed, when we are ready to take out the world, we're ready to start World War III, we are ready for freaking Armageddon, and we don't even care if Jesus is coming because we're going to kill that person on the other side. Like, that is the fight, right? And what creates that nuclear event level fight is our triggers. And money is especially triggering for most of us. Money is especially triggering because, number one, money is a symbol, right? You know, just get that the value of money is what we give it. If you go to the United States government and say, I have $1 here, what can I get for it? They'll say, whatever you can buy out there. But you'll say, but it's got your name on it, right? It used to be that money was backed up by silver or money was backed up by gold. But now money's not backed up by anything. Money is backed up by the reputation of the country that prints it. I'm going to say that again. The value of money is determined by the reputation of the country that prints it. And cryptocurrency is not much further along than that. Cryptocurrency is sort of the next level up where it's not grounded to anything. These things have the value that we assign it. And when we are assigning value, that basically means that something has become a symbol. Symbols are objects or ideas to which we assign value. Right? So because money is not only functional, we can buy stuff with it, we can do stuff with it, we're dependent on it to pay our taxes, we're dependent on it to pay our mortgage. It's also become symbolic of many other things, right? Money's it's kind of, when you think about it, it's kind of abstract. Right? It's not concrete. Like a piece of salami is concrete. I was just eating some salami. It was really good. A dollar bill, not so concrete. And now we're all dealing with digital money for the most part, right? We just move money digitally from our bank to somewhere else. It's even more abstract. And when something's abstract like that, we start projecting other things on it, okay? So like when people get divorced, for example, and they start fighting about the money, even though the law says there's only so many ways you can cut that money up, and one partner might get a little more or a little less than the other inside of that boundary, there's still a freaking boundary that money can be cut up on. People will spend tons of money to win that battle, to get a little more. They will spend more money than they're getting in the settlement to get more because it represents a victory to them. It represents winning in a relationship that they feel like they've been losing in. It represents getting emotion that they weren't getting from that person. And sometimes when people get divorced, and I get a lot of this, I get a lot of clients who have this going on, they get divorced and they get sued again about the money because even though the divorce is over, the person on the other side still feels like, I didn't get what I wanted, that emotion. I didn't get it. So I'm going to squeeze it out of that person by taking him to court and taking him to court and taking him to court. I want you to know I've had clients who've been to court with their spouses 3 or 4 times post-divorce because the settlement's never good enough. All right. Money is highly symbolic. All right. So if it can operate that way on the divorce level, I guarantee you dollars to donuts that it's operating in your marriage that way. And that is why the money fight is so juicy. All right. The money fight is juicy because typically one person is the primary wage earner and the other person is contributing something else, maybe less money and more time. Or maybe they're just contributing less money. They both work and one's making more than the other. And, they're kicking in a percentage of the total household income each. Well, the person who's the prime wage earner feels like they're giving more. They feel like they should have more power because they're better wage earners. But that's just not fair, is it? Because you're both working and you both have children, right? So what I'm telling you is money is far more complicated than just what's coming in and what's going out emotionally, right? The reason why the money fight is nuclear level Armageddon style fight is because it's about so much more than money. Very long-winded way of saying and trying to prove to you it's about so much more than money. And because it's about more than money, anything can trigger it. Now let's throw in another wrench into the works. Statistically, I think about 70% of Americans, I did this on the previous podcast, I can't remember what the exact number was, but it was high. It was 60 to 70% of American families are living hand to mouth, regardless of class, regardless of income level. All right. We're not talking about 70% of Americans are earning under the poverty level. We're saying that across all classes, 70% of Americans are living hand to mouth, meaning they're spending as much as they have coming in. Now, that is bad business. they might actually be, in many cases, spending more than they have coming in, which is really bad business. And it's because not only is money very symbolic, all right, but the way we spend it compensates for a lot of what we feel like we're missing. And all the marketing in our society, I'm sure you've noticed this, is geared towards that. Not feeling sexy enough? Here, you buy this article of clothing, you'll be really sexy. Not feeling strong enough? Buy this shirt, you're going to look really good. Not feeling wealthy enough? Buy these clothes and you will look really wealthy. Buy this car and people will know that you've made it. Well, once you buy that car, so no. The next level car, you need a Lamborghini. Really, what you need is a Lamborghini. So the mindset around a Lamborghini, I don't have one, but a friend of mine who was shopping for one was telling me the mindset around a Lamborghini is totally different than the average, than 99% of car owners in America. For one, when you buy a Lamborghini, they don't have a spare tire. They just don't. Because if your Lamborghini breaks down, the thing costs so much money, you're just going to pay someone else to come change the tire anyway. It's just not even comprehensible for most of us. Oh yeah, why would I change the tire when I can just have a Lamborghini come and take care of it like that? And number two, most people don't drive them that much. They almost never get flat tires because they don't put that many miles on them. And number three, when you go to buy a Lamborghini, you send an employee to go buy the Lamborghini. Now, this guy sent his employee who ran his car rental company, and this employee went with his car rental list of what a car should have, and he asked the Lamborghini salesman about the flat tire thing, and the Lamborghini said, "What are you talking about? Lamborghini owners don't do that." Of course, a car rental guy would be concerned about spare tires and flat tires, but the Lamborghini owner is not. Right? It's just a total different mindset. So you're trading up. If you're buying a Lamborghini, you better have a hell of a lot of money, right? But that's kind of like the symbol of you're really on top. And a lot of people who buy Lamborghinis, by the way, have just as much going out as they have coming in, and they're just spending money. It's what's called conspicuous consumption, right? They're spending to look good. A lot of America has the disease of conspicuous consumption, and it is destroying marriages. It is destroying marriages because, number one, when you don't run a business properly, and a family is basically a business, it puts a hell of a lot of stress on the owners. And the husband and wife are the owners. Make no mistake. The husband and wife are the owners. All right. When that stress is on the owners, when they're feeling like, oh my God, we're working our asses off and we've got nice clothes and nice car, but I can't pay the electric bill, or how am I going to pay for this vacation we just took in Disney or whatever? That's when the fight starts. It's not like, wow, honey, we really have a problem with money. We need to talk about it. It's more like, wow, honey, I can't believe you spent all that. Why are you spending all that? Why'd you buy a freaking Lamborghini? I was driving the Lamborghini and I got a flat tire, and you know what? It doesn't even have a spare. What kind of car is that? Why did we buy it? Right? That's the kind of fight people have. All right, so there's two things. There's the money and there's the fight. All right, and I want you to know that you can learn how to stop having the fight and how to manage the triggers. In fact, you kind of need to really solve the money problem. Because what's going to happen is every time you bring in some new tools to manage your money problem, you're going to have the fight. Now, some of you may not be having the fight. Some of you may be able to bring some tools in. So let me give you some tools to manage the money. If you feel like that you're not having the fight, or you feel like you're able to do this without gutting each other, go to Dave Ramsey's website, DaveRamsey.com, and he's got a whole free blueprint for how you can manage your money, how you can pay down your debt. It's a great system. And if you feel like you can talk about this rationally or with a low enough level of anger so that you can work through it, go to Dave Ramsey's website, download that stuff, and do it. I'm going to be looking for money experts for this series that we're doing on money. That's not going to help you with the fight, which everybody has. I was listening to an ebook that was written in 1938, and there was a description of relationships where it said that people in marriages are tearing each other apart, criticizing each other, having unbelievable high-level destructive fights that are causing children harm. This was in 1938, this book was written. And I was listening to this going, God, that's what my clients do today. It's 2024. It's almost 100 years since this book was written, and we're still doing the same nonsense. And really clearly, what this book says, that I want you to get this, the way to not have the fight is to get really rational and thoughtful and not be triggered, not go from 0 to 60, not set your nukes on active, not be ready for Armageddon. You have to find ways to do that. And so we've got coming up in September a workshop for you. It is the End the Fight workshop. At least that's what I'm calling it today. It is not yet up on the workshop, on the website. As I'm recording this on July 25th, 2024, it will be up on the website probably within a couple of weeks. So maybe when this podcast is released, it'll be there. richinrelationship.com. We've got great resources there, free resources there. This masterclass is free, all right? We will give you a deeper understanding of the fight and how to disengage from it, and tools that will help you with that. And there's other tools up on the website too. We're putting up a group of tools to help with people who have had suspect there's infidelity or have had infidelity. We're putting some tools up to help you back off of that and get your marriage back on track. Go to richinrelationship.com. Also, if you want to get in a call with me, you'll find that on the schedule a call web section of the website, and it's a free call. All right, so to sum it up, the money fight is complex, and we're going to explore it more in this podcast in the coming weeks. We're going to explore the financial side more. We're going to explore the symbolic side more, and we're going to talk more about the fight and how people slip into it and ways to get around that. Thank you for listening. Hit subscribe, share this with your friends, get Rich in Relationship out there. We are on a mission to save 10,000 marriages in the next, I think it's now 9 years. It was a year ago that I first made that declaration. Help us to accomplish that mission. Thank you so much, and have an awesome tomorrow.